The NHL's worst kept secret can finally be put to rest. We have a trade to announce. The New York Rangers have acquired Patrick Kane. But what are the New York Rangers giving up in this trade? How will Patrick Kane fit in Chicago? And what will the Rangers do in this upcoming playoffs? We'll watch till the end and let's get straight into it. Now, really, this entire month, we have been building and building up to this moment. Countless rumors, countless speculation, but really countless reports about Patrick Kane and his interest in the New York Rangers and the Rangers' interest in Patrick Kane. This was the worst kept secret in the NHL for a reason, because practically everybody knew that Kane was going to go to New York one way or another. Now, what's also probably accelerated the trade talks is just how well Patrick Kane has done recently. Over his last 4 games, he has 7 goals, 3 assists for 10 points, and looks a lot healthier than that speculation around his hip needing surgery would really indicate. But if Patrick Kane is 100% healthy, or at least 100% healthy for now, that is still a huge addition to a Rangers roster, especially with their Devils going after Timo Meier and really all of the Eastern Conference contenders getting bigger guys. Adding both Tarasenko and Kane onto that foregroup is huge for New York. And this season in Chicago, in 54 games, he has 16 goals, 29 assists for 45 points. And again, that production, especially recently, has really quite skyrocketed, and that's is really important for the injury concerns regarding Kane, because he looks a lot speedier than he was just a couple months back. But when it comes to Kane especially, one thing that we need to know is the defensive play. He's not going to be lighting the world on fire. And if he is going to be alongside Artemi Panarin on that second line, potentially having Panarin, Trocheck, and Kane, that's going to really make that bottom 6 have a lot more defensive responsibilities. And really that defense and Igor Shesterkin have to carry a lot more of the load. But if it does work out offensively, then there might not be too much of a problem. And even though the analytics are quite a bit against Patrick Kane, he doesn't really need to be the true play driver on his line, with a Panarin especially being on the left side. And as still one of the best passers and most talented offensive players in the league, this might be a situation where with Patrick Kane, he's rejuvenated, going to a true contender for the first time in multiple seasons. And that might be what really turns the page for Patrick Kane and gets him in a better situation offensively. Now, even though Chicago has not been a contender whatsoever recently, the last time Patrick Kane made the playoffs in 2020, in 9 games, he got 2 goals, 7 assists, 9 points, looked pretty fantastic there. And if he's able to unlock the same sort of impact for New York, then this series versus New Jersey is going to be absolutely incredible. But it's also interesting to think about the fact that they did, of course, trade for Tarasenko as well. And at the time when they did, it felt like they weren't going to trade for anybody else big on that foregroup. But as things started to circulate and as Patrick Kane continued to want the New York Rangers as his destination, we started to see the Rangers open up to the idea a lot more, and now we have a 3-team trade that will make this happen. But for the Rangers, all that matters right now is that Stanley Cup, and if Patrick Kane is able to unlock those playoff moments, those playoff runs that he's had over his career, then for the Rangers, they're still in for a marvelous get, and especially considering the relatively low price that Chicago got back, I think for the Rangers, it was a pretty easy deal to make. Now, as for what Chicago does get back, there is word, of course, that there is a 3rd team in here to make the cap work, and we'll obviously see what they potentially get back in this deal. But for Chicago, they'll get a conditional 2023 second-round pick and a 4th-round pick on top of things. Now, according to Elliot Freeman, when it comes to the 2023 second-round conditional pick, it's pretty interesting. It becomes a first-rounder if the New York Rangers win 2 rounds this year, but that pick will either move on to 2024 or 2025. But honestly, for the Blackhawks to get a chance at a 1st-round pick is pretty great value, considering the complete and utter lack of any leverage whatsoever in this situation, with Patrick Kane having a full no-move clause and wanting the New York Rangers in every single way. The Rangers knew that and were pretty stingy in this deal, obviously, which will affect the value. But if the Blackhawks are able to get a 1st-round pick back, I would say that's a pretty big win for them, considering everything that's gone. Now for the Blackhawks, even if the Rangers were to lose in the 1st round this year, their draft is looking pretty great in 2023, and a really, really solid draft for sure. They could have 2 1st-round picks, theirs and Tampa's. They'll have 4 2nd-round picks and 2 3rd-round picks. And in the rebuilding situation the Blackhawks are in, that's exactly what they should be doing. But for the Rangers, not just get Vladimir Tarasenko, but also on top of this Patrick Kane at the trade deadline, it'll bring so much offensive juice onto the foregroup. We'll see if the defense is able to hold its own while having all that defensive negative value in the foregroup, especially in that top 6. But that will have to be something to wait and see. This New Jersey Devils, New York Rangers playoff series, if it does end up happening, is going to be absolutely nuts. And the Rangers do bulk up quite a bit while the Devils get Timo Meier, so it's going to be a bloodbath no matter what of offense. But I want to know in the comments down below what you guys think of this deal, because I think I slightly lean towards Chicago winning this just because of the lack of leverage they had and still potentially getting a first-round pick. But the Rangers, if they do win the cup, it will be a success. But that's the only reason it happens. Kane is likely to not re-sign after this next year just because of the Rangers cap situation right now. But they're truly going for it, and I think that's what they should be doing. But if that cup doesn't come, then it's going to be a failure in every single front. But let us know down below which team you think wins. What do you think of this deal? Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you in the next trade video or on March 3rd for the trade deadline stream right here on the Sportsnet YouTube channel. Have a great one, and goodbye.